Welcome to The Speechie Show. Being a speech-language pathologist often means having too much work and not enough planning time. To beat the overwhelm, we're bringing you the tricks and tools that will make your job a little bit easier. Hello, everybody. Welcome to The Speechie Show. I am your host, Carrie Clark from SpeechandLanguageKids.com. And we're here today with Jennie, and I totally forgot to ask you how to say your last name, Jennie.
That's okay. It's Bjorem. I need it phonetically spelled out for everyone.
Yeah, we should have put that on the screen. Jennie joins us today to talk about speech sound, using visual cues for working on speech sounds with little ones. So we're talking about kids with speech sound disorders, apraxia, what else? Lots of good uses for this, right, Jennie?
Yeah, phonology. We even use the visual cues for early literacy, sound to letter recognition. So all those things that kind of fall into play when you've got a kiddo with speech stuff.
Yeah, so pretty much everyone that we work with with these sounds. Yeah. This will be very helpful to you. And we have a lot of really awesome practical strategies that you guys are going to be able to use in your therapy session right away. So stay tuned with us here on Facebook Live. We're going to be sharing the 5 tips, and we're going to be doing some giveaways. We have some resources, all kinds of good stuff. So if you are joining us on Facebook Live, welcome. Go ahead and type into the comments where you're located. We'd love to see where everyone's at today. And Jennie, while they're doing that, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, your company, and what you got going on right now?
Sure. I'm Jennie Bjorem, and I started in private practice back in 2002. So I run my own private practice. I'm located in Leawood, Kansas, right outside of Kansas City. And yay, not too far away. And so we, sorry, I see the things popping up on the screen.
I know, right? It's kind of distracting. There's lots of people chiming in. We got Boston and Utah and Autumn, which I can't remember where you are, Autumn.
Naperville. Awesome. Yay, welcome. Now, I have a private practice in Leawood, and then also this past year I started Bjorem Speech Sound Cues. So I created a product, and now I'm teaching how to use it, and I'm really, really excited about it. So that's why I'm here.
I love this. When I was working EI, one of the things that I always had in my head is like, I'm going to create my own sound cues because like I need a good system, and I didn't like any of the ones I had. So props to you for actually doing it because I never had time.
Thank you. Yeah, I forever had clip art on sticks, and I just print them off the internet, and then finally I was like, I'm done. I need vowels. I need more. So I did it. I figured out how to do it. We did it. Yay, there's another Kansas City. Welcome, Taylor.
Yeah, wonderful. We got a Texas, North Carolina. We got tons of people on today. Wonderful. Okay, so if you're just joining us, we're talking about visual cues, and we're going to talk about how to use those with our little ones in speech sound therapy for whatever reason they're in. I feel like visual cues are one of those things that can just help everyone. So let's start by telling us just kind of, if someone's not familiar with what visual cues are or what that means, start with that, and then we'll move into our first tip for using them.
Well, visual cues are anything that are going to help cue the child what you are wanting them to do or what your expectation is for them. So I use a whole bunch of cues, not just visual, but I use tactile and I use verbal cues. So with kiddos, let's say that might need help with that snake sound, that S sound, I might give them the cue, use your snake sound. That might be a verbal cue, or I might give them the visual cue of, here's your snake sound. This is the sound we're working on. Or I might give them a visual tactile cue where I might use my finger down my arm to help remind them to use that sound, or a snake going down their arm. I know a lot of people use prompt, which is also another tactile cueing program. But the visual cues is anything visual. Sometimes when you're trying to get a kid to do 2 words together, you might have 2 objects or 2 dots so that they know that you're expecting 2 words. I want. So that would be another type of visual / tactile or tapping cue. So there's a whole bunch of cues we can use. But I felt like when I was doing therapy, I was lacking in the type of sound visual cues that I really needed to work with my very young children, 18 months, 2 years old, 3 years old, who are having difficulty acquiring speech. And so that's why I feel so empowered to teach parents and therapists to really use these cues, because it works and it helps.
Absolutely. I love this. Okay, so we're going to talk specifically about those younger children today, how to use these visual cues to make that speech sound therapy super effective with our youngest little guys. If you guys have questions as we go along, please type those in. We will be taking questions throughout, and stay tuned because we will be doing some giveaways, and you can get some of those visual cues at the end of this. So let's jump in though. Our first tip is to get on the floor. Talk about how that looks when we use our visual cues.
Sure. Now, I always talk to therapists and parents to get on the floor because it's the natural place where children play. We're down at their level, we're at their eye level, we are finding things and toys they're interested in, and it gets us away from that table, chair, old-fashioned type therapy situation. And, this can go into play for kids that are 3 and 4 year old as well. They still like to play. We don't necessarily have to whip out a worksheet. We don't have to necessarily whip out drill. We want to make sure that what we're working on is within their interest, and there's movement included. A lot of times when a child's in the chair, there's just not enough movement. When they're on the floor, they can lay on their tummy, they can roll around, lay on their back, sit on a bouncy, they can get up and walk around. So just, I don't know, challenge yourself to give up the table for a week and see what happens.
It really is amazing what happens when you just get out of the chair. I had a child that I worked with who was just delightful in therapy. I loved him. And his mom was like, I can't believe you're getting him to do anything. His last therapist couldn't get him to do anything. And I was like, well, what kind of therapy did they do? And she's like, they just sat at the table the whole time. And he was like 3 with Down syndrome. I was like, this child needs to move.
Get out of the chair, people. Get out of the chair.
Absolutely.
You'll have more fun too, I promise.
Yeah, nobody wants to just sit there for 30 minutes and do therapy. So yeah, I love it. Okay, so we're on the floor. Now we're going to introduce these visual cues, and we're going to do that through play. So talk to us about how your recommendations for working these visual cues into play so it's not sitting there and drilling and practicing again.
So our goal for young children, especially with apraxia and those motor planning speech disorders, is to get lots of repetitions, because what we know is that repetitions translate to better co-articulatory movements between sounds and more success in speech. So the important thing is that we want to get repetition with relevance rather than repetition in drill at a young age. So it needs to be relevant, it needs to be functional, it needs to be meaningful to them. So typically what I do is I have toys out available that the kids really enjoy, that they're interested in, and that they want to talk around. If I bring in things that aren't interesting to them, then they don't necessarily aren't going to be motivated to talk around it. So typically what I'll do is I'll pull my speech sound cues that I know that those sounds that the child and I are working on, or I'll take the majority of the box outside of maybe the THs and maybe some of the harder sounds that we aren't necessarily currently focusing on with the young children, but I'll spread the cues out on the floor around me. So I usually have the child, we'll have the toys, and the cues are around me. And what's so funny is we'll get to be playing and say we put animals asleep, and I'll say, oh, shh. My 18-month and 2-year-olds will reach over and find the shh cue because they all know them. It's so cool because then they just go and pull the cue themselves because they know. So then if we, then we wake the kid up and then we're going to put her shh oohs on. We can combine the shh and the ooh sound and work on that in play. So then, we kind of find fun things to do, and you can just pull those cues automatically. So you can either pull them when you feel like you need them, or if you come up with something spontaneously to work on, or if you've got those targets that you're targeting, then you can have those right there and ready for you.
I love this because I just feel like it makes our therapy so tangible, because obviously the children we're working with, they're not going to just hear speech and pick it up and start using it. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in speech therapy. So this makes it go from this very abstract, like, what do you want me to do something with my mouth, to I can see right here, this is the task that you have for me, and it's a, it's a sound. And that just makes it so much easier for them to comprehend and grasp. And I think your example of the child picking up the cue himself is a really good indicator that this is making it more tangible. This is making it accessible.
I gotta tell this story because everybody's gonna love this, but I have a little boy, he has severe apraxia, and we were working on the W sound, actually, the W, and I had all the speech sound cues laid out there, and his little baby sister, she's 1.5, started crying, and he went over the cues, found the sh sound, got up and took it to her.
I love it.
I'm like, yes, he gets it. He completely gets it. This is exactly what we're talking about. And he was trying to help her quiet down by using his shh. Hi, Meredith.
There's a lot of Kansas City today. I love it. Okay, perfect. So we've talked about getting down on the floor. We've talked about working these cues into play. We're going to talk next about using those visual cues that make sense and that are age appropriate. And then we're going to jump in with some actual strategies, some play activities. We're going to give you some real hands-on stuff you can use right now. Don't forget to type your questions in if you have questions, and don't forget to stick around because we are doing giveaways for her sound cues in just a little bit. So stay tuned. Oh, out of Kentucky too. We're representing the Midwest today, guys.
Woo!
All right. So talk to us about using those age-appropriate cues.
Okay, so one of the big things, the reason I created the speech sound cues was because I needed something that was intuitive and that made sense for very young children. Because I was finding that, how do I get the point across to a 2-year-old or an 18-month-old that has no sounds, that's not opening their mouths, not using vowels, not using any consonants? How do I get the point across to them that I want them to make a sound? Well, what's one of the very first things young children do when they begin making sounds? They use environmental sounds. They say moo for cow. They say ba for sheep. They say ooh, ooh, ah, ah for monkey. They say when they eat. Those are, when a baby's eating and they are eating and it tastes so good and you hear them go, yeah.
I'm just thinking of my 18-month-old right now who doesn't have many words yet, or he does, he just doesn't want to say them. But his favorite is to tell you he wants to run the vacuum by just being like, oh, and that's his vacuum noise.
That's his vacuum noise. See, look, they love the noises. And so and I know many of us out there, I could probably say all of us have related the S sound to a snake because, I'm sure all of us have. That's your snake sound. But I needed something for all the sounds. So that's why I created the speech sound cues. And, like I said earlier, I had cut them out of clip art, glued them onto sticks, and I was using those for about 4 years. And I would send them the clip art to my families, and they would be using them at home and, using them within play, not in drill. Because what we know is that for young children, that it's got to be functional and meaningful and not going through flashcards. So that's the thing I like to emphasize.
If you tie a sound or a cue onto a play activity that they're going to go do later anyway, they're more likely to practice it on their own and carry that over, as opposed to, I only work on this sound when I'm sitting here at this table with this worksheet or whatever it is.
Right, it's not in context. So if you don't have it in context, it doesn't have a meaning. Young children need to have things that are meaningful.
Yeah. All right.
Hi, Sarah.
Yeah, okay, we got more people. Oklahoma,
Yay!
Ohio, Kentucky, we got this. Okay, all right, so those are our first 3 tips, kind of our big 3 tips here. We're getting on the floor, we're using those cues and plays, we're making them make sense and age appropriate. So now we're gonna jump in with some actual activities. Stay tuned if you are on Facebook Live with us right now. We are gonna do giveaways for Jennie's visual cues. And Jennie, while we're doing these example activities, will you show some of your cue cards as well? Because I'm sure people are thinking, okay, what's an age appropriate cue for K? Because we all struggle with trying to find those good visuals.
I know. So some of the ones I have out here. So I've got my little fish sound here. Gotta make sure it's in there. It's so funny because parents come in, they're like, oh, that's the F sound. I'm like, no, the fish does not say F. The fish
does. Around going.
Right? I know, right? The fish says, wah, 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 wah. Look at him. His little lips are out. He's under the water. He says, wah, wah, wah. And so this is our fish sound. And on the backs of each card, you can see that I have the name of the sound and an example using that sound in a word, and then the wah, wah, wah. I did nothing in speechy terms because I wanted families to be able to use these. If I wrote them phonetically, families would not have an idea. Oh, here's the
I love it.
Because who doesn't like ice cream? It's called our yummy sound. And then another one of my favorites is the no, no, mama. No, 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 no.
That's great.
Yes. Thank you, Blake. Okay. I got to show you this one. So can anybody guess what sound this is?
E, maybe?
It's a mad cat.
Mad cat. Hiss?
What sound, Carrie?
Would it be an H?
No.
No. I'm wondering if anyone else has any guesses. There's a little bit of a delay, so it may take them a while to get guesses in.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, tell us.
It's the mad cat. He says,
oh, I love it. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Sarah said
Yes, Sarah, you got it. Woo!
Oh, that's great. Oh, and there was an SH guess. That's a good guess too.
My sh sound is a little boy saying sh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I like R too. R.
The R sound is a truck. So
oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, he says, oh, here's our sh.
Yeah. See, and here's the thing is it doesn't matter what cue you use as long as it makes sense and you tell them what it is and use it consistently. You know what I mean?
Right. So somebody was asking if you elicit TS, like for tss. Somebody was asking that. Did you see that?
I do see that.
I would combine two cards. I would combine my TikTok card and I would combine my snake sound card. So it would be tss, so they could see it's two sounds. So I'm going to jump in real quick. I'm going to show you an example that I made so you guys can see.
Oh, cool.
So this is for the vowel I. How many of you have trouble with kids transitioning from I? Yeah, because they think it's one sound, but it's not. It's two sounds. So I combine my two sounds together. I combine the ah and the E and then show them I. And then I use, those cues for I.
Yeah. I have definitely done that, but with just the written letter, which of course is not visual enough for a lot of my kids, but I'll do that where I write an A and an I, and then I put a little line over it, and I'm like, we're doing these together, or not the I, the E,
Yeah, and the cool thing is too, I've got these on Velcro, but if you do I, E, and then you bring them together, I, or even the other day I was working on at words, so I had the A and the T. And then I made cat, we made bat, hat, sat. And so we just changed the first sound. So it showed the kid using the speech sound cues, there's three sounds, but we just changed the first sound to make different words. There's so many uses. Sound to letter correspondence.
I love it.
I jumped ahead, but yeah, that's anytime kids are combining things, then I'll combine cards together. I have a little boy, his parents wanted to work on his name. He wasn't able to say his name. His name's Asa. So we put the A card, the S card, and the A card, and he left there saying his name that day because he had those visual cues. Never look back.
All right, Christina says, love that Velcro board. I would use this with so many kids and activities for visual.
This is just a dry erase board right here with a magic eraser cut up.
Clever.
Sponge. Magic erasers.
Love it.
Yeah. What else? So you want me to move some more ideas?
Yeah, we got time. Let's do some more activities.
Okay. So if some of my favorite things, you guys, are these tiny little animals. Do you see them? Can you see them?
Aww.
Tiny little animals. So I've got monkey, birdie, bunny, hippo, pony, dino, rhino, zebra, doggy or puppy. So they're all those consonant vowels. So those kids that might get ba-e and forget the no sound, then you can show them the no sound, or you can remind them, oh, your no sound goes in there. Bunny, or you can squeeze their knee. That's another great idea, is to like squeeze their knee to tell them it's their knee, or pony and show them the no sound. Or if they're doing eba for zebra, then we might get the zipper sound out and show them the zipper sound cue. Use your zipper sound, zebra, buzz your tongue. So you're going to want to give them those verbal cues, those tactile cues, those placement cues. It's your snake sound, now buzz it. So, yep, so I combine all those cues. Let's see, any little things, like this is felt, and these are those little glass beads. Oh, so this is a blankie, and this is a water. So this could be wah-wah, and this can be nine-nine. And we can take the animals and say nine-nine hippo and put them to bed. Or I want wah-wah. So we can use carrier phrases like nine-nine and then add those CVCs. We can use I want, and even like the cues for I want. Like a lot of times I'll do, when a child's working on the carrier phrase, I want, I can't tell which way it's going to be. Is it correct or is it backwards on the screen?
I think that's right.
Want.
Yeah. I'm trying to look reflect.
I know. I want to make sure. So a lot of times if we're working on the cue, I want, that carrier phrase, I'll lay these down so that they know they've got to do two words. They've got to do the I word and they've got to do the wa word, where they might not be getting that final T yet. And we're just working on I want, hippo, where they're not, you know, those kids that aren't getting those finals yet. Books are a great one. No objects come with the cards. You guys get to get creative with the cards.
Where did you get those little animals?
You know, Michael's or Hobby Lobby have them in little packages. A lot of toy stores, Fat Brain Toys has them. But then, you know, a lot of times I'll pair them with the bigger animals. So then I've got mama, mommy, dada, baby, daddy. We got all these different words. BB, baby. All right.
Perfect.
Thanks, Kelly. So here's a great little book, and here's how I use the speech sound cues in the book. And I have a YouTube video of me doing this. So there's a monster in your book. Look, what is he doing? He's eating. You tell me, eat, eat, eat. So
okay, now did you actually put your little visual cues inside that book? Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
So here, this month, we say, oh, no. And the kids get to read along. Then they can start. So right here, let's try to get him out. Here's a combination. Can you see it? I want to make sure you guys can see it. Out. And you can see how you combine the two sounds together to make the word out. And then here, we're going to shake the book. Shake. So, you know, our goal as speech therapists is not to get these sounds in isolation, guys. Our goal is to get them in sound combinations. So, yes, we want these kids to have these sounds in their repertoire, but we want to, as soon as possible, start to combine sounds together.
Yes.
So that's really, really important.
Okay, so I want to know, how many books do you have in your library that you've done this, where you've gone and added the pictures to? Because this is so fun. I love this idea.
Where did you get the cards? The cue cards?
They're her cue cards.
They're mine. I sell them on my website.
Now, so the ones you have in the book, those are littler versions than the big cards that you sell, right? Or did you?
Yeah, that's before I had them in stock, and I copied my own cards and taped them in that book. But like this one, the Drowsy Dragon book, I actually used Velcro and Velcroed them in the book.
That's so smart. I love this.
Yeah. So I'm missing that one, but yeah, like here, 3 dancing dragons learn to tap, tap, tap.
Oh my gosh, I love this. Okay, so Christina wants to know, do you print them on stickers for the book? So these are not stickers. These are just the cardboard cards that Jennie sells that she stuck a Velcro onto the back of and then put Velcro in her books. Tell me if I'm wrong, Jennie. But then that way, when you are planning your therapy session, you say, okay, we're going to do this one today. You just Velcro them in and you're ready to go.
You can Velcro them in. That's what I do with my books. That one book, I taped them in because I was going to ASHA and I wanted people to be able to see how I was using them. And I actually didn't have the cue cards from my factory yet when I went to ASHA. I had one set.
So now you know that your next product line needs to be stickers that people can get a whole bunch of them and put them in all their books, right?
Right? Yes, we need to put them in all of our books.
I love it.
And on our noses and foreheads. And the great thing about the cards is that we can, the names of the cards are Bjorem Speech Sound Cues, and it's bjoremspeech.com.
All right, I'm going to write that in. Bjoremspeech.com.
Correct.
Is that right? Does that look right?
BJOREM speech.com. Correct. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So that's where you can go to order these cards. We are going to do a giveaway here in just, oh, my screen's going crazy. We're going to do a giveaway in just a minute where somebody who's watching with us on here, Facebook Live right now, which we have like 50 people on here, is going to win a set of these. So stay tuned if you like these. Just for the record, type in if you would love to have a set of these cards because I think these are amazing. Okay. What else you got, Jennie?
So this is Articulation Station. And so when I'm working with older kids and we are doing some drill stuff, I'll just stick the cue right up top here to let them know what sound we're working on.
Love it.
Yeah, it's great. The other thing I do with Articulation Station is when I'm doing discrimination, like I have a little boy that I worked on discrimination last week, I put the snake sound down and I put the quiet sound down. So s and shh. I put them down on the table and I turned Articulation Station around to me and I put it on groups. So that child had to listen without seeing the picture what my Articulation Station was saying and then point to the card that they heard. So they're having to discriminate between sh and s.
You're amazing. This is so fun. I love it. Look at all the people commenting in. Everybody needs your cards.
Yay, I'm so glad.
Oh my gosh. This is great. Okay, do you have any other activities or should we go ahead and do the giveaway?
I think maybe that's all the activities for right now I had planned, but yeah, I've got a bajillion in my head.
Oh, I'm sure you just use this all day long. So, okay, so we are doing a giveaway today. We're going to do 2 giveaways. The first one is going to be for a set of Jennie's cards. You're going to ship it to them for free, right? For whoever wins?
I'll ship it for free anywhere.
Okay, so it's this cute little box. You have one for all the sounds, I'm assuming.
One for every sound, every vowel, and every consonant.
I love it. I love the vowels especially. I feel like most of the systems I've seen kind of neglect the vowels, and that's what we need. We need the vowels.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to give away to somebody on Facebook Live right now. The first person to answer my question is going to win the box of cards from Jennie. She's going to mail those to you. If you do not win the box of cards, you can go to the website that's right here, bjoremspeech.com. You can order your set there. The second giveaway, so the second person who responds to the question is going to win 2 free months in my membership, which is the Speech Therapy Solution. If you're not familiar with that, that is my membership site for speech language pathologists. We have continuing on through ASHA. We have an ASHA webinar each month. We have a bunch of training videos, a bunch of worksheets you can print off and use. It's basically like a help desk for speech language pathologists. So it's everything you need to help you with your caseload, help you make your therapy sessions run smoothly. So the second person to answer will get 2 free months in there. And if you do not win that, you can head on over to speechandlanguagekids.com/join and find out all the information about the membership. Okay, here's my question. Are we ready? We got 61 people on here. We're rocking and rolling. Okay, so type in your favorite toy to use in therapy with little ones. The first 2 people are going to win. There is a little bit of a delay, so be patient if you don't see your response coming up. The first 2 people will win. The first one will win the cards from Jennie, and the second one will win the membership from me. I feel like there's a lot of people that want these cards.
That's awesome. Thank you.
There's a lot of comments in there. All right, Tia Tygard says, Potato Head. Congratulations, Tia. You win the cards. Jennie, how do you want her to contact you to get those?
She can email me at bjoremspeech@gmail.com.
Perfect. And I'm going to have to scroll down because we've already had so many responses. I can't see the next person who came in. Where did it go? All right. The next one, and I will tell you guys, sometimes they look like they're in a different order on your screen than mine. So we're going on the order they are in my screen. The next one was Christy Coulter Tanner says caribou. Oh, yeah, we all love caribou. Yeah, this would be a fun one to use with caribou. You just put the little cards on there.
Absolutely. Actually, who was it? Keep going and I'll tell you in just a second.
Okay. Christy, you won the 2 free months in the membership. Congratulations. If you are not already a member, we'll get you signed up and get you your 2 free months. If you are already a member, we'll add 2 months to the end of your current cycle. And you can reach us at carrie@speechandlanguagekids.com. That's CARRIE. Shoot us an email telling us that you were the winner, and my assistant Kenna will get you set up with your 2 free months. Congratulations, Christy and Tia. And thank you everyone else for participating. Holy smokes, that's a lot of responses.
That's awesome. No, from Sublime,
anyway.
Sublime Speech, she put the tape on the caribou, the drape on the top of the caribou.
Say that again, you cut out a little bit.
So on the top of the caribou, she put dry erase tape.
Oh.
So then you could do letter to sound correspondence with older kids.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, look at this. Kelly just ordered them. You guys are missing out if you don't have these cards. Go get them right now. All right. Well, thank you, Jennie, so much for joining us. Please tell everybody again the website where everyone can reach you and find these cards and anything else you got going on right now.
Let's see. You can follow us at Bjorem Speech on Instagram because I'm always posting fun things. I'm also a clinic owner and have tons of great ideas and fun stuff. I've got a 3,700 square foot clinic in Leawood, Kansas, and I've got 27 speech therapists that work for me. So we're always coming up with fun, crazy new ideas. So follow us on Bjorem Speech at Instagram. I also have a great Facebook page, which is Children's Therapy Services. And then the website's on there, bjoremspeech.com. You can find me there as well. And I'm on bjoremspeech.com. I am posting new videos all of the time of me doing therapy with kids using the cues. And we got some freebies up there and some other things that are constantly going up. So Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. That was awesome.
And I just posted a comment with the link again. Hopefully that will show up. I'm thinking if I post the link, then it goes to the top of the comments because there's a ton of comments here. But you can see that link on the screen there if you don't see the link to click on it. There it is, bjoremspeech.com. So you can head over there and check that out. Thank you so much, Jennie, for being on. And thank you all of you for joining us today. Don't forget to check out the Speech Therapy Solution if you would like help with your tough cases, get some CEUs, and get some awesome worksheets and materials that you can print out and use right away in therapy. All right, we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you all next time on the Speechie Show.
Yeah, happy Monday.
Thanks for joining us today on the Speechie Show. We hope today's tips have helped you feel a little less stressed and a little more confident about your work. If you're looking for more stress busters and confidence boosters, we'd love to have you join us in the Speech Therapy Solution, where you'll get access to a huge library of premium training videos and another library of print and go therapy materials. You can also get help with your tough cases by joining Carrie on the weekly Q&A calls or by posting in the exclusive Facebook group. Plus, group members can join us for a monthly webinar that can be used for continuing education credit. Head on over to speechandlanguagekids.com/join to check out all the amazing benefits of the Speech Therapy Solution membership. Bye for now.